The purpose of this presentation is to help counselors who are interested in working with military families and providing military families with the resources they need. The resources will be given at the end of the presentation. The presentation will have 4 parts. The first part, effects on families, especially for children when a parent is deployed. Military families have had to endure multiple deployments due to the current conflicts. The results of these conflicts can cause many psychological effects for the family, as well as the deployed family members. Some families either live near a military installation or on a military installation, but for others they do not have this type of resources. For many families, the deployed parent is either in the National Guard or reservist, and at times they are far from other family members. Combined with limited resources creates a difficult time for these families. Lastly, many deployed parents are in a single parent household. There are 3 stages in the deployment model, which describes the deployment process from preparation to the reunion stage. First stage, preparation for separation, which is when the service members are given his or her orders, which includes a deployment date. For many families, however, who are in a fixed rotation schedule, they are aware in advance of the deployment dates. During this stage, conflicts can occur between spouses and children. For the children, they can experience the tensions between their parents and caretakers, and this tension can create insecurity and behavioral problems for others. The second stage, separation, which is when service members have been deployed. Families need to try to adapt to the changes. Children can detect anxiety in their non-deployed parents or caretakers. For those in a single-parent household, children can experience problems at school, which are important to make school personnel aware of a deployed parent. When telling children about the deployment, the parent or caretaker needs to consider the child's developmental stage and ability to understand the situation. Behaviors to look for in the separation stage are preschool and elementary children will feel anxiety, anger outbursts, confusion, overly cautious, fear things, and they're not aware prior to the deployment. Middle school will also feel the anxiety and anger outbursts, but are quick-tempered, depressed, withdraw from normally enjoyed activities. High school will experience eating and sleeping difficulties, irritability, increase in school performances, such as grades or attendance, and behavioral changes. These behaviors that were explained can appear at any age group depending on the child. The last stage, the reunion, is when everyone in the family experiences joy and hopefulness. During the initial stage, couples experience a second honeymoon, and any issues prior to the deployment are put on hold. Unfortunately, once the honeymoon phase is over, reconstructing the family begins, and issues that can occur are reintegrating the once deployed parent into the family, especially for younger children. Parents and caretakers must understand in allowing the child or children to connect with their parents at their own pace. Reunions do not last long due to the next deployment, giving family members little time for closeness. The second part of the presentation is counseling military families, keeping 4 issues in mind. The 4 issues counselors need to keep in mind are multicultural perspective, understanding military cultures and why do they join, and honor and sacrifice. The first issue is the multicultural perspective. Counselors need to be aware of the following when working with military families: counselors' own biases and stereotyping of military families, any personal experience with the military, and if so, how does this shape the counselor's beliefs? Understanding of the military and their families' belief system in regard to political views, and how would these views will affect the treatment of the family. Compassion towards military families, understanding the sacrifice for duty, and finally, a heightened sense of duty. The second issue is understanding military culture. In understanding the military culture, counselors need to be mindful that the authoritarian mindset can be problematic at home, especially for adolescent children. Second, the constant mobility can create isolation for other family members. Third, there are 2 subcultures within the military, enlisted and officers. These 2 subcultures can be problematic for families and service members. Fourth, the parental absence, which are caused by multiple deployments. Fifth, the unpredictable duty hours, which can result in the military coming first, second to the family. And lastly, the constant military readiness. The third issue, why do they join? Each person has their own individual reasons for joining, and it can be family traditions, benefits such as educational, identifying themselves as a service member, wanting a different or a better life for themselves and for their families. The reasons for joining the military not only affect the person joining in, but also their families as well. The fourth issue is honor and sacrifice. It can be a conflicting topic for counselors given that the profession is about openness and critical examination of the service member's assumption of life. In the end, military families come to therapy to live and survive in the military culture, not in a civilian world. The third part of the presentation is assisting the non-deployed parent or caretakers with the stress of deployment. Counselors need to be flexible when attending to the issues of military families because the non-deployed parent or caretaker may need extra time in dealing with their own new role. They may experience feelings of abandonment, anger, or pride. Counselors also need to work closely during sessions on communication skills between the relationships of the non-deployed parent or caretaker with the child or children. Non-deployed parent or caretakers need to allow child or children to express their own feelings in the sessions. Lastly, in working on communication skills, counselors need to be mindful and combine the family's culture of origin with the military culture during the sessions. The fourth part is resources for counselors and military families. The following resources are to assist counselors and military families. If you would like more information, please visit the video notes. The first one is the Switchboard of Miami has the Florida BRAIVE helpline. It's a statewide support network providing information to families who are currently serving in Iraq and Afghanistan. There is also an online database catalog with resources. The second one is the National Military Family Association. Assists all families whether the service member is currently serving, retired, or wounded. The third one is the MilitaryOneSource.com. Is a telephone referral resource that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The fourth one is Big Brothers and Big Sister. It provides a program called Military Mentoring, in which the program assists children whose parents are in the military and also in deployments with either a big brother or a big sister that is also in the military or enrolled in an ROTC program, or they attend a military school. The fifth resource is the American Legion Vetcam. It is a free service that enables service members to talk to their families via face-to-face on their personal computers. In order to use the Vetcam, just register it online to use the service. The service is open to all family and service members and all the military branches and American Legion members. For counselors who are interested in helping military families, the information that was stated, minus the resources, can be found by logging on to the American Counseling Association and clicking on the tab Counselors. The resources, however, can be found throughout the internet. I hope the following information has been helpful, whether you're a counselor interested in working with military families or you are a military family looking for resources. As a wife of a military veteran, I know firsthand the importance of having someone to talk to and also having available resources.